The termination of Kristi Noem. Her dismissal marks a sharp transition from the revolving door turnover typical of Trump's first term. Analysts suggest Noem fell victim to the reality that all officials are expendable in the Trump administration. Despite her public displays of loyalty, she was unable to insulate herself from the president's dissatisfaction. Trump officially utilized his signature, "You're fired," phrase to end her tenure on Thursday. Her removal followed a series of political liabilities and a disastrous congressional appearance. Noem was frequently criticized for performative cosplay in her role as immigration lead. She often wore flak jackets during immigration raids despite having no law enforcement background. During a visit to an El Salvador prison, she posed with tattooed inmates for social media. She drew international condemnation for referring to convicted immigrants as scumbags. Operational failures and controversies. Under Noem's leadership, masked agents surged into major cities like Chicago and Los Angeles. Crackdown in Minneapolis involving tear gas and sweeping raids reportedly upset the president. Trump was particularly concerned with how the optics of the Minneapolis raids played on television. Noem falsely labeled 2 U.S. citizens killed by federal agents as domestic terrorists. Video evidence later undercut her assertions regarding the fatal Minneapolis shooting. She faced an internal power struggle with border czar Tom Homan throughout her tenure. Criticism mounted over the Department of Homeland Security's DHS multi-billion-dollar spending. DHS reportedly purchased 2 Gulfstream G700 luxury jets for $172 million during a shutdown. Noem was also scrutinized for the slow pace of FEMA emergency funding for disaster response. Personal scandals involving top aide Corey Lewandowski further complicated her standing. The final catalyst: congressional testimony. The last straw for Trump was a 2-day grilling Noem faced on Capitol Hill this week. Republican lawmakers offered rare and blistering criticism of her department's performance. Former DHS Chief of Staff Miles Taylor compared her treatment of people to her treatment of her dogs. During her leadership, deaths in immigration detention reached a 2-decade high. Administration reshuffle and new appointments. Noem has been reassigned to a role as Special Envoy for the Shield of the Americas. Mullin's appointment is expected to bring a shift in leadership style to the department. Noem's firing serves as a warning to other cabinet members about the limits of performative loyalty. The dismissal of Corey Lewandowski alongside Noem signals a broader purge of her circle. The DHS oversight offices were significantly slashed under Noem's brief tenure. Her legacy is defined by critics as one that demonized immigrants and targeted working families. The political fallout from the Minneapolis incident continues to shadow the administration. Noem's clean, beautiful coal comparison highlights Trump's distaste for trying too hard. Future implications. Lawmakers are calling for a full audit of the $220 million AD spending. Authorized by Noem, the Shield of the Americas role is viewed by many as a ceremonial exile for Noem. The domestic terrorism misclassification remains a potential legal hurdle for the DHS. Human rights groups remain concerned about the high rate of detention deaths under Noem. The reinstatement of a Coast Guard pilot previously fired by Noem highlights past internal chaos. Political analysts believe Noem's national political aspirations may be severely damaged. The story underscores the volatile nature of high-level service in the current administration.